The Course in Miracles. Lesson 128. The world I see holds nothing that I want. The world you see holds nothing that you need to offer you, nothing that you can use in any way, nor anything at all that serves to give you joy. Believe this thought, and you are saved from years of misery, from countless disappointments, and from hopes that turn to bitter ashes of despair. No one but must accept this thought as true, if he would leave the world behind and soar beyond its petty scope and little ways. Each thing you value here is but a chain that binds you to the world, and it will serve no other end but this. For everything must serve the purpose you have given it until you see a different purpose there. The only purpose worthy of your mind this world contains is that you pass it by, without delaying to perceive some hope where there is none. Be you deceived no more. The world you see holds nothing that you want. Escape today the chains you place upon your mind when you perceive salvation here. For what you value, you make part of you as you perceive yourself. All things you seek to make your value greater in your sight limit you further, hide your worth from you, and add another bar across the door that leads to true awareness of yourself. Let nothing that relates to body thoughts delay your progress to salvation, nor permit temptation to believe the world holds anything you want to hold you back. Nothing is here to cherish. Nothing here is worth one instant of delay and pain, one moment of uncertainty and doubt. The worthless offer nothing. Certainty of worth cannot be found in worthlessness. Today, we practice letting go all thought of values we have given to the world. We leave it free of purposes we gave its aspects and its phases and its dreams. We hold it purposeless within our minds and loosen it from all we wish it were. Thus do we lift the chains that bar the door to freedom from the world and go beyond all little values and diminished goals. Pause and be still a little while and see how far you rise above the world when you release your mind from chains and let it seek the level where it finds itself at home. It will be grateful to be free a while. It knows where it belongs, but free its wings, and it will fly in sureness and in joy to join its holy purpose. Let it rest in its Creator, there to be restored to sanity, to freedom and to love. Give it 10 minutes rest 3 times today, and when your eyes are opened afterwards, you will not value anything you see as much as when you looked at it before. Your whole perspective on the world will shift by just a little every time you let your mind escape its chains. The world is not where it belongs, and you belong where it would be and where it goes to rest when you release it from the world. Your guide is sure. Open your mind to him. Be still and rest. Protect your mind throughout the day as well. And when you think you see some value in an aspect or an image of the world, refuse to lay this chain upon your mind, but tell yourself with quiet certainty, "This will not tempt me to delay myself. The world I see holds nothing that I want." Lesson 128. The world we see holds nothing that we want. This means the images we make have nothing that we want. The world we see has nothing we need, nothing we can use, nothing that gives us joy. Believe this, and we are saved. Saved from years of misery. Saved from hopes that turn to bitter ashes of despair. Despair, the absence of hope. No one but must accept this thought as true if they would leave the world behind. To leave behind the world is to stop pretending. To stop pretending we'll find ourselves in form. To stop hoping the lie will one day tell the truth. To leave behind the world is to release the chase, the bargaining, the constant seeking. It is to give up asking illusions for peace. It is to stop expecting shadows to offer light. We don't lose anything real. We lose only disappointment, only the hunger that never fed us. only the mirage that left our lips cracked and our souls dry. When we leave behind the world, we leave behind the lie of separation. And in that release, we remember the truth was always in us, not hidden, just forgotten. And now, remembered, each thing we value here is but a chain that binds us to the world, not the thing itself, but the meaning we've given it. To one person, a Barbie doll is just plastic. To another, it's a priceless treasure. Same object, different purpose. And that purpose? It binds. Because everything must serve the purpose we have given it, until we see a different purpose there. To value what has no eternal meaning is to invest in the temporary and expect it to satisfy the eternal. A shiny award, a corner office, a reputation we've shaped over years, a vintage watch passed down in the family, the perfect house in the perfect zip code. We think these things give us something: security, identity, legacy. But the course is clear. They serve one purpose only: to keep the dream going, to keep the search alive, to keep us hoping where no real hope can be found. Because the world as we see it was made not to reflect truth but to replace it. That's why Jesus of the Course says, the only purpose worthy of our mind this world contains is that we pass it by. Not with resentment, not with fear, but with clarity, without delay, without reaching for meaning where there is none. So, what does it mean that there's no hope in the world? It means this: hope belongs to what is real. But the world we made was crafted to distract us from that, to give us 1,000 false promises and call them dreams. So to place our hope here is to search for light in a burned-out bulb. And now, be deceived no more. Deception isn't something done to us. It's a mistaken belief within us. We deceive ourselves when we believe we can lose truth and still find peace. Deception promises something in return, but it delivers nothing that lasts. That's why the Course says, each thing we value here is a chain, not to shame us, but to free us, to show us that the lock was never real, that the door was never closed. The world we see holds nothing that we want. And in that realization, we remember what we are. We remember where peace lives. We remember the way home. So escape today the chains we place upon our mind, not the body, not the bank account, not the behavior. The chains are mental, invisible, and entirely self-forged. When we perceive salvation here, it means we're trying to find peace where it can't be found. We're trying to find love in a loveless place, trying to harvest fruit from plastic trees. A Course in Miracles says, for what you value, you make part of you as you perceive yourself. We name it. We claim it. The car, the title, the body, the background. We stitch these things onto our self-image like patches. Jesus in the Course says, all things you seek to make your value greater in your sight limit you further. That turns the whole self-improvement world on its head. We thought we were building ourselves up, but we were just reinforcing the cage. The Course continues. They hide your worth from you and add another bar across the door that leads to the true awareness of the self. Another bar. Not a cocktail bar. Not a gold bar. A prison bar. And the door it blocks? That door leads to true awareness of the self, capital S, the real one, the changeless one. So, what would true awareness of the self look like? It wouldn't be loud, or desperate, or proving, or trying. It would be still. gentle, certain, free. It wouldn't seek, because it already found. It wouldn't compare, because it knows oneness. It wouldn't improve itself, because it remembers it was never broken. So escape today, not with effort, but with willingness, to stop building a better cage and start walking toward the light. Not later, not someday, but now. Let nothing that relates to body thoughts delay our progress to salvation. Let us not permit temptation to believe the world holds anything we want, to hold us back. The Course says, nothing is here to cherish. To cherish means to protect and care for lovingly. But the Course is telling us there is nothing here that deserves that kind of love. Does that mean bodies? Does that mean money? Does that mean jewelry? Does that mean oceanfront homes and off-the-grid havens? Yes, mighty companion. It means all of it. Nothing here is worth an instant of delay, not a second of pain, not one flicker of uncertainty, not one moment of doubt. The Course says, the worthless offer nothing, and certainty of worth can never be found in worthlessness. We keep reaching for reflections. We keep polishing shadows, but they vanish when we touch them, because they were never solid to begin with. So what are we really cherishing? Ideas, projections, empty vessels we filled with hope and then called them holy. But the holy doesn't need a form. It doesn't decay. It doesn't cost. It doesn't die. So what did I hear? I heard a warning without threat. I heard a call without demand. I heard the voice that says, don't delay joy one more instant, chasing what was never real. Today we practice letting go all thought of values we have given to the world. These are some of the values we've given the world. Fame, success, security, attraction, status, legacy, survival, aesthetic perfection, cultural identity, romantic fulfillment, individual achievement, control, exclusivity, ownership, being right, being remembered. We leave the world free of the purposes we gave its aspects, its phases, and its dreams. We stop assigning meaning to seasons and symbols. We stop worshipping youth and fearing age. We stop telling stories about why this dream matters more than that one. We stop pretending there's purpose in the calendar. We stop loading up the world with our hopes and then getting mad when it fails to carry them. We hold the world purposeless within our minds and loosen it from all that we wish it were. What do we wish it were? A home, a sanctuary, a stage, a reward system, a proving ground, a chance to finally be seen, a place to make our mark, a place to build what death can't touch. But the Course says none of that is real, and none of it will last. So we loosen the world from all our wishing. We stop asking the mirror to turn into a window, and in doing so, we lift the chains that barred the door to freedom. We go beyond all the little values. We go beyond the diminished goals, the small ambitions that once ran our days and owned our sleep. We go beyond them now, not because they were evil, but because they were empty. That's what I read. That's what I felt. That's what I'm practicing. What are we holding on to that we could let go today? Pause and be still a little while and see how far we rise above the world, and when we release our mind from chains and let it seek the level where it finds itself at home. This home is not a place. It is a state of being. It is peace. It is union. It is silence without fear. It is light without opposite. It is the memory of God, uninterrupted by images. The mind would be grateful to be free a while, free from judgment, free from identity, free from effort, free from the exhausting need to make the dream make sense. The chains we break are the meanings we gave everything. The roles, the grievances, the striving, the comparisons, the fear of being nothing and the fear of being everything. These are the chains. And what we're breaking is the spell of believing they were ever real. The mind would be grateful to be free a while. It knows where it belongs. It belongs in God. It belongs in stillness. It belongs in the eternal now. It belongs in what cannot be broken. Free its wings, and it will fly. What holds its wings now are the thoughts that say, "Not yet. I'm not ready. I still have more to do here." But give it permission, and it will fly in sureness and in joy. It will join its holy purpose, to extend what is real, to remember what is true, to be a light that does not flicker. To forgive the world by seeing it was never what we thought. Let it rest. Let the mind rest. Let the false self grow quiet. Its creator waits there, not in anger, not in punishment, but in the quiet welcome of sanity, to be restored, to be rejoined, to enter into freedom, to return to love. And now, we fly. Give it 10 minutes rest, 3 times a day. And when our eyes open afterward, we will not value anything we see as much as when we looked at it before. Because in rest, the mind remembers its source. Because stillness clears the fog of meaning we placed on form. Because the body's eyes were never meant to show us truth. And in that pause, the spell is broken, just a little. Our whole perspective on the world shifts, by just a little. That little shift might look like this. We walk past the mirror without adjusting. We hear someone boast and feel no urge to compare. We look at the bank account and remember abundance is not a number. We see a stranger and feel communion instead of caution. Every time we let the mind escape, it's changed. Not because it found something new, but because it let go of what never belonged. The Course says, the world is not where it belongs. That means the world we see is out of place in our mind. We tried to give permanence to shadows. We treated the projection as the source. But the world is not where it belongs, because it never belonged in truth. And we belong where it would be, if it were true. We belong in the peace we hoped the world would give us. We belong in the love we tried to extract from form. We belong in the rest, where this it goes when we finally release it. What is this it we're releasing? It is the mind. It is the self-concept. It is the identity wrapped in time. It is the seeker. It is the doer. It is the one who strives and judges and fears. But we let it go now. We rest the mind. We rest the identity. We rest the story. And we remember, our guide is sure. Not outside us, not above us, but within. And so we listen. Not to the voice of fear, but to the quiet certainty beneath it. We open our mind to Him. We stop interrupting. We stop assuming. We stop asking the dream to speak for the truth. We let the stillness speak. We let the light lead. We be still and we rest, because our guide is sure, and His path leads only home. And we are almost home. Protect our mind throughout the day as well. And when we think we see some value in an aspect or an image of the world, refuse to lay this chain upon our mind. But tell ourselves with quiet certainty, this will not tempt me to delay myself. What will not tempt me? A compliment, a bank balance, a headline, a flirtation, a memory dressed up as meaning, a promise of future fulfillment, a shiny distraction posing as opportunity. These will not tempt me. To delay what? To delay the end of seeking, to delay the return to peace, to delay the only goal that matters, awakening. The Course tells us again. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Nothing. Not some things. Not sometimes. Nothing. Because the truth is absolute. It doesn't offer loopholes. It doesn't say except in this case. It doesn't say unless it's your passion. It doesn't say unless it's your child, your calling, your dream. It says nothing. And that's why it's trustworthy. Because the ego writes in fine print. But truth is bold. It doesn't whisper conditions. It doesn't change its tone depending on who's listening. It just stands. Still. Clear. Uncompromised. So what did I hear, mighty companions? I heard the end of delay. I heard the end of almost. I heard the end of just this one exception. I heard the quiet courage to say, this will not tempt me. This will not tempt me. This will not tempt me. And in that I heard the chains fall.